Danger, Darkness, Dwarves is a very good summary of working for Deep Rock Galactic. However, it misses one of the major parts of every dwarf's daily routine: the drinks. The Abyss Bar is the only truly social area in the entire space rig, in no small part due to the incredible number of unique drinks available for patrons. Relax the Glyphid Slammer, learn something new with a Smart Stout, or prepare for your next mission with the Daily Special. There's almost always a reason to visit the bar in between your missions. Lloyd is the ever-reliable bartender robot who will serve your drinks. Whenever a drink is ordered, Lloyd will pour as many as there are dwarves in the lobby, at no extra charge.
By the beard!
Additionally, whenever a dwarf purchases a beer license, Lloyd will provide a round on the house of whatever they just unlocked. Corporate beers are licensed by the company for use in the Abyss Bar, and as such are available for purchase with a small sum of credits at any time. The Oily Oaf is a regular strength drink available to employees of rank 3 or higher for a pittance of only 35 credits per round.
Carl!
This is the bare bones option, mostly consumed by greenbeards and cheapskates.
Cheers, mate! Oi! Rounds of Glyphid Slammers, please!
Glyphid Slammers are a stronger concoction than Oily Oafs, and as such require a corporate rank of 7 to be purchased. They are still quite inexpensive at 85 credits, however, making them an excellent option for the dwarf on a budget. Dwarves who have purchased the Supporter Edition are served this drink in a fancy golden cup with a sprinkling of confetti.
To rock and stone! One leaf lover, and can I get it thin with some water?
Universally hated among employees, this drink is only on the menu to please upper management. Leaf lovers will kill any level of intoxication on the spot, leaving its victims stone cold sober. At 25 credits for dwarves rank 3 and above, rounds are heavily incentivized by management. However, very few are ever purchased intentionally.
Rock and roll and stone!
Scattered across Hoxies, these plants are a dwarf's best friend when it comes to acquiring and consuming rare and exotic concoctions.
Rock and stone!
Malt stars grow as flowers in clusters of 1 to 4 and have a distinct blue and green glow to them, making them easy to spot at a distance. Barley bulbs are red flower-looking ingredients which only ever appear one at a time, and are used for unlocking and purchasing the daily special section of the menu. Yeast cones are each supported by a single stalk, which grow in groupings of 1 to 4. They have a gradient blue color to them, with the lightest part at the bottom being luminescent. Starch nuts grow on single stalks, with 1 to 4 pink nuts present on offshoots. Along with malt stars and yeast cones, starch nuts are used for both purchasing drink licenses and buying rounds of already licensed drinks. As is common for a bar, almost all, beverages served at the Abyss Bar will intoxicate you in some way.
Yeah!
Your current level of intoxication ranges from 0 to 100 points, where 0 is your starting point and where a Leaf Lover's Special will leave you at, and 100 is the perfect time to go on a mission, when you are stumbling, slurring speech, and seeing double. You won't notice any effect of your intoxication level until you reach above 25 points, where your vision starts to blur slightly around the edges. After 40 points, your dwarf will begin to stumble around slightly, and after 50 points, both the aforementioned effects will worsen. By just over 60 points, your vision will begin to sway as well, making aiming more precise weapons somewhat more difficult. And at 70 points, your stagger will get harder to control. At 90 points, your dwarf will begin making slurred comments.
Yeah! You guys are awesome. Like that! Rock and stone!
And both staggering and vision are at their worst.
Oh, my head is spinning.
After surpassing 100, there will be a very short period of even greater intoxication, followed by a loss of consciousness and a visit to the medbay.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Note that the effects of intoxication will persist into your next mission unless cleared via leaf lovers or complete unconsciousness, so do be mindful of what you drink before more challenging missions. Also note that if you enter a mission before passing out from over-intoxication, it will prevent you from doing so.
I have definitely not had enough.
Preserving the over 100 intoxication effect throughout the mission.
One leaf lover, and can I get it thin with some water?
The potency level of a drink indicates how much consuming it will alter your current level of intoxication. Buzz killers will set your intoxication back to 0.
Oh, that's nice.
The Leaf Lover Special is thankfully the only drink with this potency level.
Harkin Stout.
Safe for work drinks provide 10 points of intoxication, the smallest, and therefore safest, increment available.
Minus the lowest and the highest. Some burning love, please, and make it sizzle.
Regular drinks give 16.7 points of intoxication, which seems like an odd value,
To our continued survival. Yeah, right.
but is really just 1/6 of your 100-point limit.
Yeah. Oi! Rounds of Clifford Slammers, please.
Strong drinks are worth 25 points of intoxication,
Black Lock Lager.
and epic drinks are worth 50 points, which is currently the highest single drink value, which won't immediately knock you out. Speaking of, legendary drinks provide 101 points of intoxication,
Might as well skip straight to the hangover. Blackout Stout.
which is pretty much just a one-way trip to the medbay, unless you have exceptional timing.
Rock and Stew.
These licenses become available at corporate rank 5.
Before I forget, a round of Blackout Stout, Lloyd.
Starting off strong with the Blackout Stout, this legendary drink has the potency to match its name, and it will knock a dwarf out in one go. Often used as an alternative to leaf lovers, as passing out and waking up in the medbay will reset a dwarf's intoxication level.
Yeah.
Priced at 250 credits, 4 yeast cones, 4 malt stars and 12 starch nuts for the license, and only 3 starch nuts per round, it's surprisingly economical as well.
Harkin Stout. Rockin' Stone.
Arkan Stout is a safe-for-work option which provides an excellent way to cool down at a moment's notice, although some may find it does that job slightly too well. At 350 credits, 5 yeast cones, 3 starch nuts, and 22 malt stars for the license, it's pretty obvious what their main ingredient is, especially when it costs 4 more malt stars per round.
Flintlock's Delight, please.
My favorite for showing greenbeards around the bar, the Flintlock's Delight is a strong drink which has plenty of kick, enough to send you clean across the rig. The license starts at 350 credits, 14 yeast cones, 5 malt stars, and 11 starch nuts, making it fairly accessible for new players, and the price is fairly reasonable at 3 yeast cones and 2 starch nuts per round as well. Just be on the lookout for low-flying greenbeards when navigating the space rig after introducing them to this one.
Underhill Deluxe. Rock and Stew.
Looking for a strong drink that will let you look at things from a different angle? Look no further than the Underhill Deluxe, perfect for realizing just how dirty the floor of the bar actually is.
That's nice.
At 350 credits, 17 yeast cones, 5 malt stars, and 8 starch nuts for the license, You can explore all sorts of nooks and crannies of the space rig for only 4 yeast cones a pop. Just be sure to get out of whatever you squeezed into before returning to your normal size. Corporate Rank 8 unlocks some interesting options for licensing.
Wreck my guts, Lloyd! Chop chop!
Gut Wrecker certainly fits in the interesting category, as this strong brew generates a lot of gases once ingested, leading to immediate expulsion. At 500 credits, 7 yeast cones, 21 malt stars, and 12 starch nuts for the license, I'm not sure who would like to subject themselves to this one, but it'll be 1 malt star and 4 starch nuts if they ever want to do so again.
Oh yeah! Black Race Blonde!
No credits for the jukebox? Black Reach Blonde has you covered. For 1 easy licensing payment of 500 credits, 23 yeast cones, 10 malt stars, and 7 starch nuts, you can have your own private dance party whenever you like. As long as you have 3 yeast cones and 3 malt stars on hand every time you'd like to dance.
Some burning love, please, and make it sizzle.
And now for what I can only assume is the driller's favorite brew, Burning Love. As the name suggests, for 6 malt stars around, this regular strength drink will light you on fire as you run around screaming. The license for this one costs 750 credits, 6 yeast cones, 28 malt stars, and 6 starch nuts, which makes it a pretty affordable way to simulate a magma core mission, or rogue driller, without actually experiencing one.
Never felt better.
Rank 11 brings 2 new drinks to the table.
Malt Rock Bear!
Malt
Rock Bear!
Just like Underhill Deluxe, but in reverse. This strong brew lets you marvel at all the cobwebs and other muck on the ceiling instead. Just make sure not to drink it somewhere with low clearance. At 750 credits, 30 yeast cones, 10 malt stars, and 10 starch nuts, it's certainly on the pricier side, but at 6 yeast cones is a pretty good rate per round. Oh, and remember to turn the jukebox on before drinking this one, as you won't be able to reach it afterwards.
Black Lock Lager!
The perfect All Hallows Eve drink, Black Rock Lager is an epic brew which may or may not include evil hallucinogens in its recipe. At 1000 credits, 12 yeast cones, 7 malt stars, and 31 starch nuts for the license, you may as well be getting haunted by the ghosts of all the starch nuts you've picked. Not helpful in the least by the rate of 5 more starch nuts and 2 yeast cones per round.
Horror! The horror! Season Moonrider for me, and don't skip on the moonshine.
Rank 14 grants you only 1 new license opportunity, and that is the Safe for Work Seasoned Moonrider. Nobody quite knows what the seasoning is, but it does bend the laws of physics pretty hard, so nobody's tried reverse engineering it yet. 1000 credits, 10 yeast cones, 15 malt stars, and 35 starch nuts to license. Each round will cost you 3 malt stars and 4 starch nuts as well. It's essentially a personal gravity recalibration in a mug.
Rockin' Stone! Feeling adventurous today? Give me a wormhole special!
Rank 17 is when you unlock the Wormhole Special, a strong drink for when you just want to get away from it all. At only 1,500 credits, 10 yeast cones, 20 malt stars, and 40 starch nuts for the license, it's one of the more expensive ones, not helped by its cost of 1 yeast cone, 2 malt stars, and 3 starch nuts every round. Even then, half the time you'll end up in the drop pod instead of freely floating in outer space like you wanted to.
Leave no dwarf behind! Help! Where am I? A round of Mactera Brew, please.
At rank 20, you unlock the other interesting drink, the Mactera Brew. Through unknown ingredients no one in management is willing to discuss, a dwarf will quickly generate a cloud of live, buzzing insects around them from unmentioned origins. But it's currently the most expensive license at 1500 credits, 15 yeast cones, 10 malt stars, and 55 starch nuts, so it has to be good, right? Regardless, this epic potency drink costs 1 malt star and 6 starch nuts per round. The Smart Stout is unlocked for licensing at corporate rank 23.
Round a smart stout, please. We're feeling extra wise today.
Regale your fellow dwarves with half an insight or the start of a conspiracy, then struggle to make up the ending as you forget what you were talking about. The license for this strong brew is priced at 1,500 credits, 7 yeast cones, 17 malt stars, and 37 starch nuts.
Guys! I just figured out how to make the power drills drill through minerals. Take notes before I forget. Damn! I lost it!
The price per round is 4 malt stars and 2 starch nuts.
Check your gear and let's go!
The license for daily specials is unique, in that one payment of 1,000 credits, 5 barley bulbs, 10 yeast cones, 10 malt stars, and 15 starch nuts will open all the daily specials for purchase. However, as the name implies, only one special is available for purchase at a time. The current special will change every half hour at the same time as the mission rotation occurs. Once consumed, the daily special will provide a buff which will last until the end of your next mission. Only one buff may be active on a dwarf at a time, and the buff will persist between changing classes. Since the last update, there has been a bug in the game which causes daily special buffs to be applied twice, causing things like pots of gold to be 4 times gold mine, and Rocky Mountain causing all terrain to be mined in one hit. It is unclear whether or not this will change, so all the values I am covering here are for the base, non-bugged ones.
Bartender, round of Red Rock Blasters.
Red Rock Blasters are an excellent safe-for-work choice for any mission type, as they increase your health by 30%. Considering that a dwarf's base health is at least 110 points, and their shield is at most 30 points, this drink is essentially a finicky meat shield to go under your fancy electrical one to keep you extra safe. And priced at only 1 barley bulb, it's an amazing deal.
1 sentry gun, ready to be filled. Backbreaker Stout!
A step down from the amazing Red Rock Blaster is the humble Backbreaker Stout, a strong drink which increases your movement speed by 15% when carrying heavy objects, such as the quarks and glyphid eggs. As such, it's somewhat useful for egg hunts and point extractions, but otherwise it's probably better to save your barley bulb for something else.
Ready. Glyphid Dreadnoughts! No. Dark Morkite for everyone!
Pinnacle of Specialization, Dark Morkite is a regular strength drink which increases the amount of Morkite mined with each pickaxe swing by 20%. This essentially reduces the length of a mining mission by 1 level, which can be quite handy if your team has a lack of mobility or if you're trying to go quite quickly. The price of 2 barley bulbs is worth considering if you are running a mining mission or deep dive, but definitely not otherwise.
Crushers for everyone, just pour it up!
Allegedly involved with the legend of Carl, Skull Crusher Ale is a regular drink which increases the amount of damage your pickaxe does by 20 points. Thanks to this, your unpowered pickaxe attack now does 52 damage, or just barely under half health on a glyphid grunt on higher difficulties. This drink works great with perks like Vampire and See You in Hell, but without these, most miners won't really see the benefit from this drink in a typical mission, as powered pickaxe attacks are unaffected.
Reloaded. Nothing says tradition like a classic Slayer Stout.
Another pickaxe-based one, Slayer Stout, is a strong drink which will cut your pickaxe power attack recharge time in half. It's pretty simple, but also quite useful for mining harder terrain or saving on ammo by smashing things instead of shooting them. For 2 barley bulbs, it's not a bad deal either, as everyone on a mission can benefit from it to some degree.
Round of chilled Rocky Mountains for everyone!
Speaking of mining, Rocky Mountain is a regular drink which makes terrain and dirt destructible in 1 less swing of your pick. Basically, anything that is not a mineral or alive will be easier to break, which is incredibly useful on every biome besides Sandblast Corridor. At 3 barley bulbs, the price is quite a bit higher, but for this, it's generally worth it.
This is a big one! Bosco, here!
Let's get down and dirty with some tunnel rats, barkeep.
The Tunnel Rat is a safe-for-work drink which reduces the fall damage you take by 30%. While this can be extremely useful or life-saving for new scouts or clumsy dwarves, the steep price of 3 barley bulbs can be a little bit much for most teens.
Much better. Pots of gold, Lloyd.
Pots of Gold is a regular strength drink which straight up doubles the amount of gold you get with every swing of your pickaxe, quickly filling pockets and wallets with plenty of credits. If you happen to find a mission with the Gold Rush Mutator as well, you can easily be looking at several thousand units of gold in your stash by the end of the mission. Even at 3 barley bulbs, Pots of Gold has probably purchased the most out of all the current daily specials. There was far more to this subject than I first thought when I started the script. Hopefully I've covered everything nicely here, but if there's anything I missed, feel free to point it out in the comments.
Rock solid!
Have a wonderful day.